BMWs are said to be unreliable, but why? Simple Car Guy here, and in today's video we are trying to answer whether BMWs are actually unreliable compared to other luxury cars, what makes them so unreliable, and why do I keep buying them? This topic sparks a lot of debate among car enthusiasts, but in general BMWs are considered not as reliable as, let's say, a Lexus, but there is a very good reason for that. Let's explore the factors that contribute to this perception and do a deeper dive into each one. Some folks swear by these ultimate driving machines, while others say they're nothing more than money pits. So what's the truth? It's also essential to establish that not all BMWs are unreliable. It's a generalization that can overshadow the positive experience many BMW owners have had. However, there are some common factors that have led to this perception. The truth is that BMW drivers expect a certain level of performance, handling, and driving pleasure built into the vehicle on top of luxury and comfort. Performance is expected more so on BMWs than most other luxury vehicles in the same price range. This means that BMW, the company, has to push the limits when it comes to technology and build their cars, and especially the engines, on the cutting edge of everyday performance and also adapted for mass production. While these innovations can enhance the driving experience, they can also introduce complexities that may lead to more potential issues. This brings us to the first reason why BMWs can be not as reliable as other vehicles. The engineers design and build sophisticated machines with intricate systems that are pushing the limits but are also meant to be used daily. The advanced electronics, complex engines, and intricate drivetrain setups can sometimes result in more components that could potentially fail. To put it simply, BMWs are often forced to be innovative and create performance-oriented vehicles with emphasis on power and sportiness that comes at a cost of long-term reliability. High-performance engines and components are typically subjected to more stress, which can increase the likelihood of failure and require more frequent maintenance. Staying ahead of the curve, being innovative, and pushing the technology forward comes at a cost that Lexus is not always willing to pay. As an example, if you take a look at a typical Lexus engine in a midsize SUV of the last decade, you will find a naturally aspirated V6 that has been in production for over 10 years and using everything from a Toyota Camry sedan to their minivan and eventually in the Lexus RX. One of my family members, in fact, has a Lexus RX, and all they have done on this 3.5-liter engine in the last 8 years was change the oil maybe once a year and basically nothing else. However, this 3.5-liter engine only produces 270 horsepower, while a comparable BMW X5 of the same year has a couple of engine options available, starting at 302 horsepower with a 3-liter N55 engine. This exact same engine, in fact. And all the way up to 444 horsepower on the higher trim versions with the 4.4-liter N63 engine. Clearly, we are talking about very different animals here. The Lexus engine is a Toyota golden child and has had all of the quirks worked out over the years. This is what gives Lexus a reputation for reliability. They use proven, older technology and meticulous craftsmanship, aiming for a smoother ownership experience that gets them 90% there as far as performance. BMW engines, on the other hand, are known to be more complex and advanced, which can introduce potential reliability challenges, especially on their performance-oriented vehicles with specialized parts and high repair costs. Of course, if you buy a higher performance Japanese car, they will also absolutely not tolerate poor maintenance or being neglected and will cost more in ownership. On the other hand, if you look at a more basic entry-level BMW, there are plenty of those at 200,000 miles clunking around. Speaking of high repair costs, let's talk about the second reason for this bad reputation: the expensive maintenance and sometimes empty promises. We all know that proper maintenance and regular servicing is important on any car, but it's more so important on a BMW, and issues have to be addressed promptly. However, being the complex high-performance machines that they are, the parts and labor are more expensive than a regular car. This is where the problems begin. Some owners will try to cut corners, neglect, and postpone maintenance items, resulting in more issues down the line. BMW is an aspirational brand that people want to be able to afford, but in reality, not everyone can that buys these cars. It's also an enthusiast brand, and people tend to kind of drive them hard. A financially stretched owner driving the car hard will tend to need more work, but in reality, that's the owner that will do the least of it and defer a lot of this maintenance, which of course leads to poor reliability. It also doesn't help that some of BMW recommended services are really spread far apart. For example, they recommend changing the oil every 10 to 15,000 miles, depending on the model. While the car is under warranty, this saves BMW a few bucks and creates a no-hassle ownership experience for those newer drivers, but the engines suffer down the road in return. When I had my BMW 550, I had to add oil every 5 to 6,000 miles, and when I complained, I was told that it's completely normal by the dealer. Of course, I switched to changing the oil every 6,000 miles, and I've never had any issues since for over 4 years of owning that car. It seems that BMW in some way has switched to building cars to lease to people and not for people to own for decades down the road. So we have to take things into our own hands here. When it comes to BMWs, you have to treat them right. Do regular maintenance and fix small issues before they become much larger issues, such as a small oil leak or the convertible roof in the case of this BMW Z4. Unfortunately, some people can barely maintain a toaster, let alone a complex piece of engineering like this. So yes, these complex vehicles do require more attention, and neglecting servicing them can lead to significant issues. But the servicing at the dealer is very expensive, as the parts and labor come with a higher price tag. That, combined with owners stretching their budgets to be in a higher class vehicle, ends up with cars that aren't taken care of as well as they should be. What people don't realize when buying a used BMW is that a $30,000 5 Series BMW or a Z4 or a $15,000 Z4 will still have parts and labor priced as if it was a $70,000 5 Series or let's say a $50,000 Z4, just like when it was new. The brand's premium status can also contribute to higher expenses, even at an independent repair shop. So it's kind of tough, but buying a used BMW is probably the most expensive thing you will ever do, unless you do your own maintenance. Unfortunately, pushing the limit and expensive maintenance are not the only contributing factors affecting BMW's reputation. BMW is also a brand that people love to hate and complain about, just like this BMW i3. Those that are just enjoying their ultimate driving machines are not posting online or complaining about issues, but those that were unlucky enough to get a lemon will tell everyone and complain on every forum as they feel like they got burned by what is supposed to be a luxury, somewhat reliable brand. Negative stories and experiences tend to spread more widely, while positive experiences often go unnoticed. Surprisingly enough, statistically, BMW has always been in the upper half of reliability indexes and rated among most satisfied by owners. Of course, I understand that these surveys skip over a lot of details, but facts are facts. Another fact is that BMW has had to compete with many newer manufacturers that weren't even there 20-30 years ago, and unfortunately that has led them to start competing for price and using cheaply made parts in some cases. That could be a video in itself, but a few that come to mind are the plastic water pumps that were almost guaranteed to fail suddenly, or the plastic charge pipes that would crack from constant temperature changes, or the plastic valve covers that would start leaking after a few years, or the plastic parts used in the window mechanisms that would fail under tension, or this window surround stuff on the BMW i3, so the plastic here and the plastic surround on the bottom of the windshield here. There's a few more to mention as well, but I think you get the point. Now, with all of the information I have brought up here, why in the world would I keep buying all of these BMWs? Well, the expensive maintenance is actually one of the reasons I like buying BMWs. I get a really good deal on vehicles that are 3 years old and are just about to be out of warranty and are sold for much cheaper. I can do most of my own work for a lot cheaper, and most importantly, I do the routine maintenance and spend time taking care of each car. This leads to a much cheaper ownership experience compared to many other BMW drivers. Cheaper is the key word here for me. After driving a few other brands and trying different cars, I've realized that I really love this incredible driving experience and don't mind spending my time keeping them as pristine as I can. Yes, genuine parts can be a bit pricey, but most of the money is in the labor, which I can do myself, and I actually enjoy it most of the time. I also enjoy it when my car smells really nice without much effort or having to change the air fresheners every few weeks. That's why I got the new Smart Car air freshener that lasts between 60 days and up to 6 months and automatically keeps the air fresh whenever the car is running. It comes packaged in a very nice box, just like perfume or cologne would. Inside we find the quick start guide, an accessory box with a charging cable, a user manual, and of course the atomizer itself. It has a simple design and is very easy to set up and use. Remove the rubber plug from the cologne bottle and screw it in tightly. Allow 15 minutes for the swab to soak in all the liquid and it's ready to use. I went with the standard cologne scent and it smells great and definitely not overpowering, which is what I was worried about. There are 17 other natural fragrances available, so you can change it up every few months. It can be placed anywhere in the car, even if there isn't a USB plug nearby, as an hour charge allows for 40 days of operation. I like the long-lasting nature of these fragrances, built-in smart sensor, and sleek modern design. Links in the description. As far as my personal experience with these cars, I have owned 7 BMWs in the last 7 or 8 years. My first one was a 2008 BMW E92 335i, and after 4 years, besides regular maintenance, I've only had to replace the water pump. Yes, that same plasticky water pump I mentioned earlier. The 2014 BMW 550i was somehow the most reliable out of the bunch, and I've only ever done oil changes and one set of spark plugs on it. This 335, the one that's in the back, and the Z4 were both bought with a blown engine, so I can't comment on their reliability, but my beat-up i3 has also done really well. The X7 that we just saw earlier is still very new to me, so there isn't much to tell, but the B58 engine that's in it is one of the best ones made by BMW, and of course I will keep you updated on this channel if anything does happen or goes wrong, just as I've done with all of these other cars that you've seen so far. Overall, I've had a very good experience with this brand over the years. The takeaway here is that BMW is focused on pushing the boundaries when it comes to performance and driving capabilities, and sometimes that comes with taking risks on technology that is fairly new and not yet fully worked out. If you are interested in a specific model, do your research. Watch some videos on the research other people have already done, like I've done on this car and on that car and the i3 as well, and there's one video coming up on the X7, and there's plenty of owner reviews as well, and consider maintenance costs before buying. A well-maintained BMW can provide a thrilling driving experience and long-lasting enjoyment, even if they are sometimes over-engineered. So, are BMWs not as reliable as some other cars? Yeah, maybe, but are they worth it? Totally. Let me know what you think about BMW reliability and if it matches your experience down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!